has caused the accident. He hopped hopped in her car.
Come here, right now. I'm gonna OC you. Get on the ground.
I'll be right.
It's instinctive to assume that when people run, they have something to hide. It is also a human fright reaction to run in the slightest face of danger. But as we would find out in this video, just like the criminals did, running is not always the best option. You can get into more trouble by doing that. In this video, we'll be looking at 5 cases where fleeing criminals realized they had made a mistake. An SUV moving at high speed caught the attention of a police officer on patrol duty. What would have been a simple pullover turned out to be a chase that lasted several miles, until the officer gave up. A few minutes later, the officer spotted the same vehicle and followed, until the driver, who turned out to be a woman, stopped in front of her own house. The first shocking discovery, when the officers asked her to step out, was that she had her kid in the vehicle while she drove at top speed.
Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Hey, get this vehicle here.
You and the Jeep stay in the vehicle.
Let me see your hands. Clear this one here.
You stay in the vehicle.
Turn around for me.
We'll figure that out here.
Put your hands behind your back.
When asked why she ran on sighting the patrol vehicle, she denied running.
Why'd you run from me?
Run from you?
Yeah, why'd you run from me?
I live around the corner. Nobody's running from nobody.
I tried to do a traffic stop on this exact
nobody.
Who'd you drop off?
She started making a scene, accusing the officers of wanting to take her child from her when they weren't. This altercation led to another discovery.
Don't take my daughter in your
stop,
car.
stop.
No,
She just-
don't take
stop.
my daughter in your car.
Ma'am, walk back this way.
Look, nothing happened.
Stay right here. Stay right here.
Look,
I'm talking to you.
My
Stop.
daughter's not gonna go in your
Ma'am.
car.
Valerie had been drunk. This means putting her life and her child, a minor, in danger. Valerie was charged with aggravated fleeing from an officer, aggravated DUI, child abuse, driving without proof of insurance, and in an unregistered vehicle. The charges would have been less than this if she would have just pulled over. On August 16, 2015, the Feynman family were on their way to California, and on getting to the agricultural inspection station, an employee stopped them to ask where they were traveling from. The reply he got set the parties involved up for a long back and forth conversation.
Where are you coming from?
You don't answer questions.
What's that? How you doing?
We'd like to go. Yeah, we're gonna go.
Where you're gonna go?
Yeah.
This is just an agricultural inspection. I'm wondering where you're traveling from.
It's none of your business.
None of my business?
Yeah.
Hey Stacy, can I get your help out here, please?
I'd like to keep driving.
I actually need to know if you have any agricultural articles on board.
No, you don't.
I do.
No.
It's my job.
We're gonna drive.
But
We're gonna keep driving.
no.
Thank you.
See, you're free to go. Your vehicle.
Oh, okay.
No, your vehicle needs to stay here.
It is important to note that the agricultural inspection stations were set up to check vehicles and commodities for compliance with California and federal plant quarantine regulations. They also check commodities to make sure that they are free from exotic invasive species that may be hitchhiking with them. So technically, these inspectors are within the law to inspect vehicles when they pass through the station.
Okay, so
This is a potential.
do you have a warrant? Do you have a warrant? You're not, because you're not inspecting anything without a warrant.
Okay.
Do you have a warrant?
I don't need a warrant.
Yes,
I'm
you do. Do you know the
inspecting.
Fourth
I'm not-
Amendment?
There is no search here. This is
Then
an
you're not going to
inspection.
inspect.
Well, you're speaking of an amendment that specifies searching.
It's the
We are
freedom.
not searching, and we
It's
are
a
not
freedom
searching
from
your
being
person.
inspected, searched.
Well, no. You're
Yeah,
speaking of
do you know the
two
Fourth
separate-
Amendment?
You're speaking of two separate incidents, or
So in other words, I'm free from warrantless searches.
there is no search here. There is an inspection.
What are you inspecting?
The conveyance needs
What
to
are
be
you
inspected
inspecting?
for agricultural hosts.
What are you inspecting?
We're inspecting for a number of.
The driver went on with his journey into California, declining the inspection but was pulled over by a patrol officer who had received the complaint from the inspection officer. Looks like the Feynmans didn't think that it was going to be termed a criminal offense when they refused to grant the agricultural inspectors permission to do their jobs. According to California law, driving away from an inspection station without clearance could be considered a traffic violation, and may result in a ticket or citation. It could also lead to misdemeanor charges.
He has lights on, but I don't... Okay, now he has lights on.
Yeah, now he's got his lights on.
Finally. Okay, well, he looks like he's a marked vehicle.
Let me see your ID.
No, thank you. I haven't violated any laws
Yeah,
here.
actually you have, because
No, I actually
listen,
haven't.
the ag station, you violated the Food and Agricultural Code by not.
No.
You either have to go back out of state,
No.
or you have to be. Okay.
I actually live in the
That's
state.
fine. Truckee 109 for requesting additional units.
Can you tell me to come around the
subject.
other side?
No, I'm not gonna tell him anything. I did. What law did I break?
You broke the law at the ag station.
What law?
The California Food and Agricultural Code. Come out, get a ticket for the agricultural violation, and you're on your way, or you're gonna be going to jail tonight.
And if convicted, individuals can face fines or jail time. And in some other cases, the offenders could be denied entry into the state. Now, the officers needed the driver's license and insurance to write a citation of the section of the Agriculture Inspection Code he had violated and then a ticket, but he consistently refused, forcing them to break the window and gain entrance into the vehicle. The occupants of the vehicle were arrested, with the youngest taken to Child Protection Service while the vehicle was impounded and thoroughly searched. Here is another case of criminals getting into an unnecessary argument with the police, and thereby getting into more trouble. From an officer, one would expect some level of compliance, but clearly this entitled one thinks that he could be above the law.
How are we doing? Really good. You have your license and insurance, please?
What am I being pulled over?
Well, a couple of things. Number one, you're speeding. Number two, you have a license plate cover.
Okay, it's gonna stay there.
I'm sorry? I can't understand you. What?
It's gonna stay there. So
What's gonna stay there?
That. The license plate cover.
Okay.
And shouldn't be at the receiving end of a simple protocol for a traffic offense he's guilty of.
Hold on. I'm an officer and I'm armed. My gun is right here, so you don't go crazy. Here we go. Because it's right here. I just remember.
Okay.
Here you go. I gotta take it too.
Okay.
All right, come on, get the ticket on, or let me go home. I got.
I don't understand why you're acting like this.
Because I asked you. I don't know, because I'm irritated today.
Okay,
I'm right here at the crib. I got another crib right here. And I'm just ready to go home. I'm tired.
Okay, so what is your actual address then?
The officer, now identified as Christopher, claims that he wasn't told what he had been pulled over for. But clearly, the patrol officer had mentioned speeding and driving with an invisible license plate. And this violates the Illinois lawsuits law that says license plates must be visible and legible. The patrol officer called for backup when Christopher became uncomfortably dramatic.
The address that this car comes back to is what you just wrote down.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the only one you need.
Okay, what town is that in?
That's Naperville.
Okay. There's no other main streets?
Hold on, why did you jump out the car?
Okay, stay in the car for me.
Why didn't you run my plate?
What do you need? Well, I'm trying to do something. No. Why are you can't leave.
Follow me.
What do you need to talk about?
Follow me.
No, I'm not following you. From 22, he decided to pull off from my traffic stop. He claims he lives over here somewhere and he wants me to follow him home. What do you need to...
I wanted to talk to you.
Yeah, and I was telling you I'm trying to run...
You all the way unprofessional.
Why don't you go back into
No,
your
I'm
car?
about to go in the house. You got my ID. The plates come back to the address. Do your job. I asked you, what are you pulling me over for? You said a number of things. What was the number of things? You only said my plate. I said
speeding.
Oh,
and the plate cover.
How fast was I going?
Okay.
Now it gets even more dramatic from here.
I know she's supposed to run my plate and send it in. She come to my car. I give her my license. She asking me, is this the correct address? I said, no. This car comes back to another address. She would have known because I kept on telling her the same. She would have known that. The rest?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Please, right? If you don't mind, just turn around for me.
Oh, this is the first time I got cuffs on me. Yeah. Let me make a scene.
No.
Hey.
Let's not make a scene.
Cuffs on the officer. I'm a Cook County sheriff.
Okay, you want to get your
No, we gonna make this. No, we gonna make a scene. Y'all want to put a cuff?
Well, we're not. All right, well, we're not getting your phone then.
I'm not giving your phone.
Okay, if I don't get my phone, I'm not going in that place.
Well, yes, you are.
You gonna give me my phone? Okay, y'all gonna pick me
Are you
up?
gonna leave? Are you gonna stop making a scene?
I want my phone.
Are you gonna stop making a scene?
Yeah, if
Okay,
I get my phone.
Let's get your phone.
Only one person going in my house.
No, we're all going in.
No. it ain't happening.
Okay, well then we're not getting your phone.
At this point, it is quite clear that Christopher had expected his violations to be overlooked when he mentioned that he was an officer to the patrol officer, and so his ego had been severely battered, which led him into acting quite childish. Thankfully, the officers' presence were more concerned with following the law than granting a few favors to one of their own. Christopher was arrested and charged with fleeing from a traffic stop, which is termed a misdemeanor, aggravated battery to a police officer, unlawful use of a weapon, which are felonies, operating on an uninsured motor vehicle, unlawful license plate cover, and speeding, which are citations. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please take a moment to do so, as it helps out the channel. Don't forget to turn on post notifications too. This story is a clear case of getting into a deeper trouble from a previously deep one. The young man, Richard, has just caused an accident where he bypassed the red light and ran into a vehicle, causing severe injuries to its driver. The next thing he did was stop another vehicle, get into it, and ask the driver, a female, to keep driving, making her think at first instance that she was being carjacked. Richard went back to the scene of the accident to get himself cleared, or so he thought.
Hey, John Record. Go ahead.
Real quick. The guy that's caused the accident, he hopped out of the car, hopped in her car, and started fighting with her. She said he was a light-skinned black male and he had a gun.
Do you know who he is? Do you know where? What happened?
It was a mistake. Honestly, I didn't see the light change red. I looked down for a second, didn't see the light change red.
Were you on southbound?
Yeah, I was going southbound. Light changed red on me. I didn't see it.
Do you remember what light you were in? Or what lane, I'm sorry?
I was in this lane right here.
Where that white car is?
I believe so. The car turned. I tried to, but see what happened when I looked up, the car was turning, the light changed. I tried to swerve this way and they was coming this way at the same time.
Okay.
And I hit them, so I'm so sorry.
Do you have your driver's license?
I don't have the card on me, but I do have a valid license. I can give you my name.
Okay, all right. Is it your car?
No, it's my mother's car.
It's your mom's car?
Yeah.
How about the register?
Filing a lawsuit in this case means that the victim can file a lawsuit against the driver seeking compensation for damages. Situations like this are better understood by listening to the accounts of the witness. Despite him returning to the scene of the accident and giving an excuse of getting his mom to bring the car documents, the reason for his departure was being questioned, and a good guess would be that he had to get rid of an implicating item or items. Richard was arrested and charged with reckless driving, leaving the scene of a crash, and driving with an expired license. A patrol officer had just found a car parked on the side of the road and its driver, identified as Andrew, standing beside it with claims that it had broken down.
You're having some issues with the vehicle?
Yeah, it won't start up.
It won't start up? What's wrong with it?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
Yep.
Want to step over here so these people can get around you?
Oh yeah, that's right.
The officer ran some physical tests to determine how drunk Andrew was because he had his suspicions. He then went on to administer a breathalyzer test and got a result that showed double the legal limits.
Night.
That's fine.
All right. All right, we want to put your right foot in front of your left foot. Get back in that original position right there. Perfect. And you may begin. And look down at your foot and count loud.
2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Last thing I need you to do is give me a sample of your breath to determine if you're impaired by drugs or alcohol. Are you able to do that for me tonight?
It was at this point that Andrew took to his heels and caused the officer to follow in hot pursuit. After escaping from the same officer a couple of times, Andrew laid down in a bush and expected that the police officer would pass by without seeing him. Well, he got unlucky this time, and the officer also wasn't ready to lose him again.
Take it easy. Get out here right now. Out here, I'm going to OC you. Come here. Come here, right now.
Andrew was arrested and charged with a felony, battery threat to an officer, resisting, causing injury, and attempting to disarm an officer, a misdemeanor in resisting, and citations, operating while intoxicated, and standing on the roadway. One thing that stood out for me in this video was watching the criminals argue with the officers even when they had committed a crime. But what about you? What stood out for you? Let us know in the comments below. Please like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notification so you don't miss another video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.